Good morning.
Good morning. Can you hear me, Mike?
I could see you had your mic off there for a second.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Good.
Got one more person I'm waiting for. Be just a minute. Okay, if it's okay with everybody, I'm going to go ahead and get started. And if you'll join me just for a brief word of prayer. Lord, please bless this fiscal court, county, our state, and above all, our nation. It's in Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Okay. Lynn Hesselbrock is obviously tied up with the election, but Molly is going to be clerking our meeting this morning. So if Molly, if you go ahead and call the roll, please.
Judge Riley,
Here.
Squire Travis, he's up. Squire Jerry Moody,
Here.
Squire Brewer,
Here.
Squire Mike Moody,
Here.
Squire Beaverson.
Here.
Okay, we've got a quorum of the court. First item of business, I'd like to entertain a motion to excuse the absence of Squire Travis.
So moved.
We've got a motion.
I'll second it.
And we've got a second by Squire Brewer. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none. As some of you may know, he's having some difficulties with his wife, Jerry, so he's unable to be on the meeting this morning. First item of business will be the approval of the minutes to the court meeting of October 19th. I'll entertain a motion.
Squire Brewer make a motion to approve the minutes of October 19th with any corrections necessary.
We've got a motion.
Second, Mike Moody.
Mike Moody, second. Any corrections? If not, please call the roll.
Squire Jerry Moody,
Yes.
Squire Brewer,
Yes.
Squire Mike Moody,
Yes.
Squire Beaverson,
Yes.
Judge Riley.
Yes. Okay, and Squire Travis is absent. Next up is communications from Judge Executive. I'm really tickled to death that Commissioner Bobby Joe Lewis is on the meeting with us this morning. And I had some brief information on our last meeting about discretionary funding, and I'm going to turn it over to Commissioner Lewis. Thank you for coming. You're muted.
Good morning, Judge. Good morning, members of the Fiscal Court. It says I'm still muted. Can you all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay, great. All right. It's such a pleasure to be here today. I know that Secretary Gray, if he got done with his meeting, was going to try to jump on the meeting to say hello and give you his well wishes. But in case he doesn't, Governor Beshear and Secretary Gray both asked me to send along their well wishes to you in Spencer County. I want to tell you that we all at the Transportation Cabinet, we understand the importance of your rural roads and your farm to market roads. We understand how important they are to your local economy and the overall development of your local rural communities. I mean, I'm basically from a rural community too, and served as county attorney for quite some time. And I understand the importance of that to you as the fiscal court. It's our goal at KYTC to eliminate emergency and hazardous conditions throughout the Commonwealth and to promote economic and industrial development through the dissemination of these discretionary funds. And that's exactly what we were trying to do. We were delighted to assist Spencer County in granting Judge Riley and the fiscal court's request regarding your important and necessary needs on 12 of your rural roads. I know those roads were in substantially bad condition, as you all do too, I'm sure. By doing this, we feel like we're investing in a better Kentucky and a better Spencer County for you. That's about all the comments I have. I am happy to answer any questions for you. I wish you a wonderful day. And I've got my cell phone number for any of you that would like to contact me with any other needs. If you've got a pen, I'm going to give you that. It's 502-892-9022.
Well, that's fantastic, Commissioner. We, of course, you're a neighbor of ours from Anderson
sir.
County and a former Anderson County attorney, and we really, I was just really taken aback by the call I got from Senator Higdon telling me about this. Of course, you had mentioned that we were going to be getting some. I didn't know how much, and this was $1,317,343, and it's about 22 miles of county roads that desperately need attention. So I really appreciate so much that help. And does anyone have any questions of the commissioner? Obviously, you can ask it this morning, or she's available anytime.
That is true.
She has always been responsive to any time I've called her, and we appreciate that. So
I also want to let you know, I just got a text from the secretary. He was trying to sign in, but I had a little trouble with the link this morning, and he was having a little trouble too. He said to let you know that he had tried, but it wasn't letting him in. So he just wanted to let you know that. Like I said, anything you all need, we are trying to be as responsive as we can be at the Transportation Cabinet. And I'm happy to help you anytime.
thank you so much. Give Secretary Gray our best, and obviously thanks to Governor Beshear also, because I think ultimately he made the decision on this. So we really, really do appreciate that. Our constituents appreciate that. So
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. It's good to see you all. Have a wonderful day.
all right, thanks, Bobby Joe.
And I want to say a special hello to County Attorney Jones.
Oh, hello, Bobby Joe. Thank you so very much.
It's good to talk to you, Ken. I haven't talked to you forever. So
Good to see you.
you all have a good rest of your meeting.
All right, thank you so much.
Take care.
So yeah, we've got roughly $9 million awarded for discretionary money in this go around, and we received about 14% of that. That's pretty incredible. So next up, of course, we've got the election will be tomorrow. It's been kind of going on for 3 weeks or more now. So we look forward to that, I'm sure, being over and done. Veterans Day is Wednesday, November 11th. All the county offices will be closed. And also want to make note, Wednesday, November 11th also is Deputy Spencer's 2-year birthday. So K9 Deputy Spencer will be 2 years old on the same day, Veterans Day. The state waste tire collection event is going to be this Thursday, Friday, and a half-day Saturday at the county fairgrounds. Tires from Spencer and other counties will be accepted. Fortunately, Bullitt County's event was October 22nd, 3rd, and 24th. Shelby County's event was last week on October 29th, 30th, and 31st. And I believe also Jefferson County's event is this weekend also. So hopefully many of those tires will be going to other counties and not all to Spencer County. So emergency radio update. Barbara, I think I sent you an email outlining where we were on that. J&N had been in touch with them, and we're just still waiting for the check. It will be mailed to our post office box, as I recall that she was able to get that done. So Chris Lemp is on here. I was going to update you on the some EMS stuff, but I'll wait and let him do that in just a minute. With that, I also want to make a note of a road department employee that we terminated, and I will not go into any of the specifics in open court on that. If you have any questions, please talk to either me or Todd. It was one of those unfortunate things that needed to happen. So we've also got, well, Squire Travis is not going to be here this morning, but we were hoping to get, I think probably Squire Brewer may be updating us on the solid waste franchise bid.
I can and will.
No, okay. With that, communications from citizens. Do we have anyone that wants to address the court this morning? I don't see anybody, but I'll give it just a second. If not, we're going to move on to communications, reports from members and other offices and committees. Julie, you are up. Planning and zoning.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I have a second reading this morning. It's the Burnett Family Irrevocable Trust for Jonathan and Travis Odell, requesting Ag 1 agricultural to R1 residential on two separate tracts. Tract 1B is 1.458 acres. Tract 2A1 is 1.906 acres, located at 1766 Shelbyville Road. Motion was made by Commissioner Wheatley to rezone the application of the Burnett Family Irrevocable Trust for Jonathan and Travis Odell. Request R1 residential on tracts 1B consisting of tract 2A1 consisting of 1.906 acres located at 1766 Shelbyville Road. They found the recommended land use is medium density residential. The change would be in compliance with the comprehensive plan, and the land is currently being used for agricultural purposes. Commissioner Knoll seconded that motion, and after a roll call vote, motion carried unanimously.
That, if I'm not mistaken, is in Squire Travis's district.
It is.
I'll go ahead and make the motion that we go ahead and accept the recommendation and findings of fact from planning and zoning and approve the second reading.
I'll second it. Squire Brewer.
All right, we've got a motion. We've got a second. Please call the roll.
Squire Brewer,
Yes.
Squire Mike Moody,
Yes.
Squire Beaver,
Yes.
Judge Riley,
Yes.
Squire Jerry Moody.
Yes.
Motion passes. And what else have you got, Julie?
I would like to take a moment and discuss the enforcement officer's position. Stephanie is here with me. That is a joint endeavor on our parts that we would like to get that person in here and hired to work doing the enforcement for the zoning regulations and the county ordinances, as well on the business license side. We had talked with the mayor originally. After my first communication with him, he's never responded in any other way to me. So I'm just going to suggest that we consider going on and doing this for the county side of it. And if the city wants to join in later on, then maybe they could join in monetarily at that time.
Excellent. I actually had that on the agenda a little further on, but that's okay. We can take it up now.
Okay, sorry.
My recommendation is that we do go ahead and hire a full-time person and let them handle both positions. It would be planning and zoning and also occupational tax office enforcement. So I don't know, I'll accept a motion, I guess, to go ahead and interview, and obviously the court will pardon me just a second. Obviously, the court is going to have to approve any hire. So Julie will interview folks as well as Stephanie and come back to the court with a recommendation if that's okay. So
moved.
we've got a motion. Squire Beaverson. We have a second on it.
I'll second Squire Brewer.
All right. Any discussion, comments, concerns? If not, go ahead and call the roll, please.
Squire Mike Moody,
No.
Squire Beaverson,
Yes.
Judge Riley,
Yes.
Squire Jerry Moody,
No.
Squire Brewer.
Yes.
Who did we miss here?
You.
You.
Oh, sorry, Judge Riley.
I vote yes. Recap that for me. We had Mike Moody was no. Brett Beaverson was a yes.
Yes. Jerry Moody was a no.
Jerry Moody was a no. I was a yes. That's only,
Squire Brewer's yes.
oh, Squire Brewer.
Yeah, he was a yes.
Motion passes. It's a 3-2 vote. Okay. We'll go ahead and Julie, if you'll go ahead and begin interviewing, work with Stephanie on that, and hopefully you can find someone that we can get on board. We've needed that for some time. So,
Okay, just to clarify, when I put this out there and, people are applying, is it at the same pay rate, starting pay as I just hired in Angie?
what was that? 15?
$15.25.
15.25. Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you.
At least that will be the recommendation. So
Okay.
we'll see what the court does. But okay, you got anything else, Julie?
That's all I have.
All right. Well, we appreciate it. And next up, before we move forward, I just want to, as usual, make a note that the treasurer, Doug Williams, is in my office and in attendance of this meeting. So let the minutes reflect that, please. Next up is Chris Lemp, EMS.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Guess we'll start out with the COVID updates. I'm sure everybody's, I think the judge is emailing out the daily press releases, but we are seeing a spike in Spencer County as well as across the Commonwealth. Just need to continue to encourage everybody to do their best they can to social distance and wash their hands and follow all of the guidelines set out. We're not seeing a huge uptake in COVID related runs as far as I can tell, but we are seeing a steady increase in cases daily. Then the power cots that were approved and ordered a couple months ago are set to be delivered the 5th of this month, and they'll be installed on the 10th, and Stryker will be here to train our guys on the 10th. So that's about all I have right now. I think I got some new hires further on down.
Waiting on you, Judge.
We can't hear you.
Thank you. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Safety Committee report, Squire Brewer.
We've had a report of one incident. Sean Johnson, while doing some lifting of a patient out the door, hurt his back. At this point, I think everything is good to go. It was a minor cringe on his in his back, but I think he's doing better now. Is that correct, Chris? Good deal.
Correct. He's back. He didn't even miss any work because of that. He is
Okay.
the first report of injury.
I appreciate you
Yeah, I
reporting
believe-
that. Let me just ask you, Chris, would this are these power cuts going to help in a situation like that at all?
They should. That was a situation where they were bringing the cot down the steps, is my understanding, and he was at the head end of the cot, and the control for the carriage underneath the part that raises and lowers is on the foot end, and I believe that there might have maybe been some miscommunication as well, where he didn't really. The person lifting with him didn't lower the cot or didn't lower the carriage, and he thought it had been lowered. It's kind of my understanding of it. So we carry another device called a stair chair, which will, once we put the power cots into service, will be used a lot more for stairs, because the current cots we use are lighter than what the power cots will be, just because of the
Yes.
so once we put the power cots in service, we'll use the stair chairs a whole lot more, almost 100% more, coming down steps like that. My understanding is it was just a few steps, like coming out of like the house, like the front porch down to the sidewalk, is my understanding. But I'm not 100% on that, but that's my understanding of what happened. Is he was at the head, the legs weren't all the way lowered, and he went to set his end down and basically went down further than he expected. That's how he pulled it back.
Okay. All right. Thank you. That's all I have, Judge.
All right. Next up is the Solid Waste Committee report. Squire Travis is obviously absent. And Squire Brewer, can you update us where we are on that?
I can. Last week we received all the bids for the solid waste committee, and we got 3 bids: one from Rumpke, one from Sandtech, and one from Republic. We also got an email bid that actually they said no bid, but we couldn't accept that anyways because it was supposed to have been in the sealed bid. But after looking and reviewing and everything, we've decided to reject those bids. They were not in the best interest of the county, and we've asked them to go back, or we're going to go back and rebid this and see if we can get anything better from them or anybody else. We have a meeting scheduled for tonight at 5 o'clock to hash all this out. So hopefully we will we'll be able to rebid this and get some better pricing and better service from some of these companies.
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, you said that that Rumpke can extend our contract if need be, and that wouldn't be a problem.
That is correct. I've talked to Chris Pierce, and he assured me that if we did not come to some kind of agreement with any of the bidders, that we can extend our current contract.
Excellent. Anybody have any questions of Solid Waste Committee?
How's that work along with the cities if you extend the contract?
Well, as you know, that's what the whole plan was try to get the city and the county together on the same vendor. But it appeared that the bidder, the vendors went one way with the county and another way with the city, and neither one of them, neither one of the pricing was very good for either one of them for both of them at the same time. One vendor would have it at a high rate for the county and a low rate for the city, and then vice versa. So they're trying. The city is looking at it, and they may choose to go on their own again. But we're going to have a meeting tonight to hash that out. So hopefully we'll know more about that tonight.
Well, that very well may be that we have separate vendors, and that it's not necessarily the end of the world, but I thought that these vendors would be more competitive trying to get both of them than one or the other. So Anyway,
Well, that was the goal. I mean, we was hoping that by adding more customers and allowing the vendors to do both the city and the county, that the prices would decrease. But that is obviously not what they're willing to do. So we're back to the drawing board, and we're going to go back and ask for bids again.
all right. I'm going to keep you on for the Veterans Committee report.
All right. Once again, we'll be putting out flags for Veterans Day this coming Sunday at all the cemeteries throughout the county. Other than that, I have nothing else.
Oh,
And that's going to happen at 2:00 on Sunday. Sorry.
okay. Equipment Committee report, Esquire Jerry Moody. We've got actually some things coming up under old business and new business. So just a brief update if you have any. If not, we can move on to old business. Jerry Moody.
Move on to old business.
All right, we'll do that.
Well, we got telecom.
Any other committees or
Telecom.
telecom? Okay, I'm sorry, I should have had that.
It's all right.
Go ahead.
Real quick, Interstate Security. I have not received anything back from them at this point regarding our meeting room over at Planning and Zoning and the audio video equipment replacement. And we did receive back some proposals, 2 proposals, one from AT&T, the other is from Matrix. Matrix actually came in and did a survey of the county phone system. They came in at $17,851. AT&T came in at $19,358. Those quotes are likely to go down because in our proposal we had 50 phones needed, and actually we needed I think it's 38 instead of 50. And then the judge let me know that Mike over at the road department, in his other life, he used to work with phone systems. So I'm going to sit down with him and we're going to compare these 2 proposals, see if there's anything glaring as far as what each of them are offering in their proposals. And we still have the state price contract, which I think it came in at 16 and some change. So everybody's within about $3,000 of each other.
Okay.
That's it.
Well, just keep us posted, and I'll get you on the agenda for the next meeting for telecom report.
Okay.
On any other committees? Anybody I've forgotten? If not, we'll move on to old business. The first item we've already discussed, and that's the planning and zoning occupational tax employee. So we've already disposed of that. Recycling truck quotes. Do we have some quotes in our packet on that? Bear with me just a second because we are so efficient. We've got all this electronically and I don't have a hard copy of the meeting packet. Let's see here. I'm not sure if those made it into the
They're in the.
I'm sorry?
They are in the packet.
They are in the packet?
Yes.
I believe it's on page 40. It starts.
Yeah, I just can't find my packet. I was doing so well with this. Trust me, they are trying to get me up to the 21st century speed, but I'm not quite there yet. All right, well, I cannot find my meeting packet.
Yeah. Takes a while to get past the minutes.
Well, I've got to find the packet to start with.
Would you like a paper packet?
If you've got one, that'd be great. Okay. Looks like we've gotten a couple more quotes on vehicles for recycle center, and I'm gonna turn this over to Jerry just with a couple of comments to start. That I'm not sure we need a new vehicle for the recycle center, and I haven't had a chance to talk to Jerry about this, but I was wondering if maybe it wouldn't be a better idea to get another say an F-250 for the road department and hand down Keith's red truck to recycle. I did talk to Karen. She said that would work fine for her, but that's something we may consider. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and turn it over then to Jerry Moody to talk a little bit about that. Do we need to, Jerry, do we need to buy a new truck for recycle center?
Absolutely not. We're taking the truck along with Todd and you, and I've talked to Tim at the road and transferring it to Karen.
Okay, well, we'll come back at another meeting and do all that once we've got all the details on it, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, and there's several things I want to say. The first thing, the equipment committee and the road department working together on this 550 that we have ordered. We looked back and it's the same as the 550 was that they ordered in 2016. The only difference is they quit making the V10 and they beefed up a V8 engine. The old 460 engine, they beefed it up. And I've been over both these bids, and anyway, the one that we have purchased last week or sent an order in for that the court approved is $200 cheaper than what they paid for the same truck in 2016. I think that proves that the equipment committee and the road department are really working together to try to save the county money. And I think that everybody's doing a good job on it. And then what we've run into is on these state contracts or state bids and stuff, these things are up and down like a yo-yo. And this coming week, we want to get the specs and place ad in the paper for a new 250. And in doing so, by advertising it, we can go with the state contract and get bids, and then we can go to a regular Ford dealer that does not have that state contract and get a bid. That way there, on buying these automobiles, you cannot let your guard down, because the guy that you work with, he's got one thing in purpose, and that is to make his company money. And you get, to me, some of them act like you don't know what you're doing. And I'm way ahead of the game on these people. And so that's the reason why I recommend from now on going with the state contract, but also advertising it so we can double check them.
Yeah, because obviously we've proven that not always is the state contract price the best price. So that's going to come up here in just a second. So is it your recommendation then that we go ahead and pass a motion to advertise for bids for an F-250 for the road department?
Yes, sir. And that vehicle there, when it comes in, will replace the pickup truck that we're giving to the recycling center.
Perfect. All I need is a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, we got a motion from Jerry Moody and a second from Squire Brewer, and that is to advertise for bids for an F-250 based on whatever specifications the equipment committee gives us. And we'll take that up at the next meeting or the meeting after, probably the meeting after. Be the first meeting in December. So we've got a motion and a second. Call the roll, please.
Squire Beaverson,
Yes.
Judge Riley,
Yes.
Squire Jerry Moody,
Yes.
Squire Brewer,
Yes.
Squire Mike Moody.
Yes.
Okay, we'll go ahead and get that done. Do I hear a motion to reject the bids for, or the quotes for the recycling truck? Let's go ahead and dispose of that. I'll entertain a motion to reject those bids since we're going another direction.
I'll second it.
I need a motion first. I'll make the motion. Judge Riley
still
makes the motion, and we've got Squire Jerry Moody seconded. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? The motion passes. Next up is the Sheriff's Office Explorers, and this is an example of what Squire Moody was just talking about. So essentially what we did, we're gonna award this based on not the state contract, but it was a government discount. So as we discovered, we had to go back and actually bid because this wasn't on state contract. We only got a bid from Bill Collins Ford. And so I think we're ready to go ahead now and purchase those vehicles from Bill Collins. But I need a motion.
I'll make a motion.
We've got a motion.
Yes.
That's to go ahead and purchase 4 new Ford Explorers from Bill Collins Ford at the bid price.
Correct.
We've got a motion.
I'll make the motion to do that. To buy the Ford.
Okay, I need a second.
I'll second.
For Beaverson seconds it. Call the roll, please.
Judge Riley,
Yes.
Squire Jerry Moody,
Yes.
Squire Brewer,
Yes.
Squire Mike Moody,
Yes.
Squire Beaverson.
Yes.
Motion passes. Okay, any thing else under old business? I don't have anything on the agenda. But again, I want to compliment Squire Jerry Moody for his work on getting these vehicles updated, and excellent job, Jerry. And you know, the one thing there is maybe one other thing, unless it's on oh, never mind, it's on new business. We'll take that up in just a minute. If you don't have anything else, Jerry, we're going to move on to new business. The first item is the budget amendment. We had been holding off on doing this budget amendment, waiting for reimbursement from the Spears Drive project, which we still have not received. So we want to go ahead and do this. We've got to do this in order to be able to move some of that money into the appropriation line items. So this is a budget amendment ordinance, an ordinance relating to the annual budget and amendment thereof. And it's ordinance number 3, amendment number 1. Do I hear a motion to approve the first reading of the budget amendment ordinance?
Motion to approve the first reading of the amendment ordinance.
All right.
Second, Mike Moody.
Got a motion and we've got a second. Molly, call the roll on, unless anybody has any questions. I don't want to move too fast, but I want to keep this moving. If anybody has any questions, just let me know. Otherwise, Molly, go ahead and call the roll on the motion.
Squire Jerry Moody,
Yes.
Squire Brewer,
Yes.
Squire Mike Moody,
Yes.
Squire Beaverson,
Yes.
Judge Riley.
Yes. Okay, next item is the email host ux.net. Where Beaverson, have you gone over this at all, or?
I did. And I did a bunch of research and then went to the next page and saw where they finally, I guess whoever y'all consulted with found a lower price, which is about the amount that I found. Let me see, HostGator.com. Total cost of hosting for a 3-year contract, $1,078. So I believe I'm reading that correctly. QX.net, that was just ridiculous.
Well, we had been getting such a good deal from win.net. It was just an incredible low deal. That's probably why they're no longer operating. But so now we have to move to a different service. Sue Schaefer has weighed in on this. I'm going to rely on the advice from Sue Schaefer. Brittany is very adept at looking at this sort of thing, as well as Brett. So I'm not sure, and don't believe Brittany is on here with us this morning, but we need to take it. Yeah, ask Brittany if we need to take any action this morning. That's on the email stuff. Okay,
Judge.
January. So we've got some time on that. So yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was one of the things is how much time do we have before they?
I think I believe January. So we've got some time.
Okay, then I won't make a motion. I just want to see if we can even beat the 1,078, although that's not a bad price for a government agency. You know, I use Host Tech, and although it's not government, I mean, I've got unlimited emails, even though there's only a couple on there, and it's only about $64 a year. That includes hosting. Now, I contacted Host Tech, and they did get back with me, but then they asked me another question as far as what type of website we had, as far as what is used to edit the website. And I don't have that answer, so I'll be getting with Brittany so I can answer that. And I looked at some others, and there's just such a wide range of options when it comes to web hosting. But I think QX has kind of shot themselves in the foot on this one.
Okay, well, I guess it's safe to say that we need to bring this up at a future meeting, but in the meantime, you can work with Brittany and Sue Schaefer, and you know, Mike up at the road department may also have some insight on that too. I'm not sure.
Okay.
So we'll just move on past that this morning. We'll get it on the agenda for our next meeting or the meeting after. So just keep me posted on that. And so next up is we need approval to pay the precinct election officers upon a receipt of acknowledgement of service. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Squire Brewer and I'm sure somebody's going to second that.
Second, Mike Moody.
All right. Any discussion? If not, please call the roll.
Squire Brewer,
Yes.
Squire Mike Moody,
Yes.
Squire Beaverson,
I'm going to recuse myself.
Judge Riley,
Yes.
Squire Jerry Moody.
Yes.
Motion passes, and I believe Squire Beaverson is an election worker, so appreciate you recusing on that. Next up is custodial services. You know, we're having we've got Shannon as a part-time employee, and more and more and more has been put on her for getting things done, and we need to, I've been trying my best to keep her under the 100 hours a month, to keep her as a part-time employee, but it's next to impossible with some of the things going on. That may change after the election, possibly, I'm not sure. A lot of it is the COVID situation in getting the courtrooms cleaned and the restrooms cleaned for AOC. But my recommendation is to go ahead and move her into a temporary full-time position. And let's, like I say, it's just getting almost impossible to keep her under 100 hours a month. So if we move her into a temporary full-time position, I'm looking at Doug here right now, I believe. Up to 1 year we can do that. So, and that's without paying benefits. And we may still
paying benefits because of she's in full-time at school.
Yeah, we're already paying some benefits because she's full-time with the school system, but regardless of all that, I think that we're getting more requests from AOC. We're getting more from the county clerk. She was not, the county clerk was not particularly happy to find out that I'd tried to scale her back to 1 day a week in the clerk's office. And I think the clerk would like at least 2 days, maybe even more a week in her office. She's got a fairly high volume of people coming through. Some of the cleaning, I think we're all doing ourselves, emptying trash and that sort of thing. But I think it's time to go ahead and move her into a temporary full-time position. And I'll entertain a motion to do that.
Judge, I'd like to see possibly going with the county attorney's recommendation as to outsourcing this. We could possibly count that towards the CARES Act, and get some of that money back once this is all over with. But I just feel that putting her in a temporary full-time position is probably not going to help the situation a whole lot with her already having a full-time job. I think that getting her some help would probably be a better solution.
Well, her full-time job, as you know, is driving the bus, and it works out great for her. So her bus route ends in plenty of time for her to be at the court when they are in session. I think I'm more comfortable with our own employee versus trying to outsource it to a company. That person, Shannon in this case, and also Randy, is just a very select few people that have master keys to all these offices. I would prefer not giving master keys to an outside group, although I know that may work out. I don't think that the county clerk would be comfortable with that. I certainly would not be comfortable with that. And we can remedy it, and we can always come back and revisit it, but we can remedy it. The problem that I'm having is keeping her under 100 hours a month. We can either move her up to a temporary full-time, or if we say, no, we're going to keep her at a part-time position, I've got a lot of people that are not going to be too happy with me because I've got to cut her hours back and keep her under that 100 hours a month. So we are, by the way, since you mentioned the CARES Act, and we are getting some reimbursement, not all, but some for her work with AOC. So that we are claiming for reimbursement for her time working with AOC, which is a significant amount of her time. So
I'm pretty sure our administrative code states under 37.5 hours a week right now, part-time. So I mean, I think she's working more than 100 hours, just let pay retirement on her if she works more than 100 hours.
I'm not sure if you can hear
No.
Doug is saying, I'm going to get him to repeat that where he's a little bit closer to the microphone.
I'm pretty sure our administrative code it states that under the 37.5 hours a week's considered part-time. Now we are paying retirement on her now anyway because she is working full-time through the school system. So we'd still have to pay retirement, but still, even if we up her to say 30 hours a week or 35 hours a week, something like that, we could still consider her a part-time employee.
So we really don't need to do anything. You're understanding the administrative code is.
As long as court approved that, I don't know that we approved before that she'd be working 100 hours or less a month. We just need to maybe make sure the court's okay that she's working.
See, I thought if
30 hours a week or something like that.
I thought if they went over 100 hours in a month consistently, I mean, not just 1 month here or there, but consistently, that they would need to be moved into a full-time.
That's the way it used to be when we looked at retirement. At 100 hours a month being full-time, but I think that was changed for our administrative code last.
I'm not sure if everybody can hear the discussion Doug's having here, but so Doug, you're saying that we should be okay just the way we are, just allow people to want to work more hours.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if that's the case, I'll go ahead and do that. If it's okay with the court, just understand that she's going to be getting far more than 25 hours in a week in order to handle everything that she's being requested to handle. So,
Judge?
Yeah.
First thing, what conversation have you had with Shannon on this?
Just the fact that she is okay with the more hours. It's me that's kind of under the gun, and I was under the impression that I had to keep her under 100 hours in a month. So
Okay.
if that's not the case, then I don't have a problem. We can go ahead and in doing that, though, I had to cut her back on some of the requests that she was getting. We started doing some of the work ourselves here, and the clerk was not particularly happy with 1 day a week. I think she needs her in there more often, which we can do, evidently with no change. So,
Well, this isn't saying anything against Shannon, but one of the things when you start stretching out hours, an employee can tend to milk that and stretch out the job to fit the hours and still not get enough work out of them. It's just something from a supervisory standpoint to stay on. I also have a text from Lynn yesterday saying that she's going to hire someone to clean her office twice a week.
Well,
so I don't know if she's communicated that with you.
No.
Okay. So that would be
that's
something
the case.
that,
That'll be just fewer hours for Shannon, which, and I think the clerk may be more, feel more secure, with not having, that's why, when I was looking at this, maybe, should we hire 2 part-time people? Should we hire, her full-time? I'd just prefer these keys to these offices not be, I don't want to be passing them out like they're cups of water. These offices need to be secure. We need to know who has the keys and access to these offices. So I know the clerk is particularly sensitive about that. So anyway, but if clerk is going to hire somebody. She certainly got the salary cap available to her that she can hire somebody. That's excellent. And it takes a little bit of pressure off of Shannon to do other cleaning. One of the things I had Shannon start doing was the county attorney's office. And I think she's over there. Ken, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I think once a week, maybe. And I don't think she's there more than maybe an hour once a week. But it's all these things kind of added up. So it was primarily because of the county clerk questioning going to 1 day a week over there. I figured something needed to change. So, but if she's remedied that, I appreciate you bringing that up, Brett. I think we can just leave things the way they are as long as the court's happy with that. I'm happy with it.
Well, I would ask that before you stop Shannon from going over to cleaning the clerk's office, that you communicate with her to ensure that she has indeed hired somebody to take care of that.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, with that, we'll move on to EMS personnel. And Chris, you're still on here. That's in your packet. We want to move Kristen Skidmore. She's a new hire for a part-time position, $13.50 an hour.
Kristen worked for us several years ago, and she left to go back to school. Now she's working for Ford at the truck plant, but would like to come back part-time, and that would be contingent on background check and drug test.
Motion to approve.
We've got a motion to approve the new hire Kristen Skidmore at $13.50 an hour, subject to background check and drug screen. Do I hear a second?
I'll second. Squire Brewer.
All right. All those in favor say aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Motion passes.
The second one.
Yeah, go ahead.
The second one is to move Darrell Mills from part-time status to full-time status at a rate of $12.50 an hour. She will be replacing or filling the full-time spot of Richard Brewer, who we hired August or September. He has resigned, and so it's moving Darrell from part-time to full-time.
We'll hear a motion.
Motion to approve.
I'm sorry. Who made that motion?
Brewer or Beaverson, big one.
Okay, Squire Brewer made the motion. Squire Beaverson, correct me if I'm wrong, seconded that motion.
Sure, yes.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes.
Quick question.
All right,
Since Darrell is already in our employment, do we want to send her for another drug test, or just because we just hired her part-time a couple months ago?
I don't see the need for it, but I'm going to let the court decide that.
We've got a
I'll entertain a motion to waive the drug screen and background check for Darrell. Is that it? Darrell Lee?
Darrell, it's pronounced Darrell
Mills. Anybody want to make that motion? I'll make the motion. Anybody want to second it?
I don't even think we need the motion.
I don't know.
She's already an employee.
Correct.
Okay, so everybody's fine with it. That's fine. We'll move on.
All right, thank you,
Chris,
Jim.
anything else?
That's all I have.
Okay. The next item is the 2020-2021 earthquake policy. And we always take the earthquake rider on our insurance policy. So I guess this is just an update to that. Runs from, I don't know that we need any additional approval on that. Have you seen that, Doug?
I think we're okay. We always take it.
Believe we're okay. I hope that everybody is okay with the earthquake coverage on our county buildings. And if there's no questions on that, Road Department, Jerry, you're back up. Truck replacement. On this, the service truck, of course, was damaged. It was considered a total loss. The insurance company's already paid us for it. The truck is gone. We need to replace it. And I believe that, correct me if I'm wrong, Jerry, I believe that Jerry and Todd have talked about this, and that, do you feel like, what would be the maximum if we gave you approval to purchase a truck, a used truck, to replace that service truck? Would you need, what kind of money would you need to purchase a decent truck for the road department?
I would go with the 30,000, and I don't intend on spending that much. But if I'd run across an exceptional buy, higher price than 20, I would want the leverage to go ahead and do it.
Okay, I think that 30,000 is too much. So I'll go ahead and make the motion that we give authorization to Squire Jerry Moody to purchase a used vehicle to replace a service truck at the road department up to a maximum of $29,900. And that's my motion.
Second, Mike Moody.
Okay. Discussion is, I'll start, and I'll just say that Jerry is not going to go out there and purchase a piece of junk. Before any purchase is made, he's going to be in touch with Todd and Keith, or one or the other, or both are going to be over there looking at that truck to make sure that that's what they want. But if he runs across a decent used vehicle, we can go ahead and act on it by passing this motion, because we've authorized him to go ahead and purchase a truck up to $29,900. Not have to miss an opportunity to buy a decent truck because we got to wait for a fiscal court meeting, and we're not going to put it out for bids or anything like that. So anyway, I'll open it up to whoever would like to comment.
And we're getting 7,000 from, almost 7,000 from the insurance. And then Todd mentioned some other monies too. I believe enough to actually cover the purchase. Do you recall?
I don't. I know the road fund. We're in really good shape, particularly with this $1,317,000 from discretionary money to pave. It's a huge help. So I think we'll be trying to do that.
The road has the money from that patching machine they sold.
That's it. Yeah, that's the patching machine.
After, yeah, we sold that. And as Jerry said, he doesn't plan on spending $29,900. Hopefully, I think what he mentioned to me, and correct me if I'm wrong, Jerry, is that you're hoping to find something under 20,000. So
that's correct.
Yeah.
It's a crew cab truck that they're needing, that they're replacing. And it takes a little bit of time to find them. And when I find one that's suited to me, then Todd will be notified, and there'll also be a mechanic involved in it also. So everything's just not on my back.
Well, I have total confidence in if we pass this motion that we're in good hands. I think that's been proven.
Jerry, I know this process is time consuming, and you got the farming that you're doing. I appreciate the time that you keep putting into finding these vehicles.
It keeps me out of trouble.
Okay.
All right. So we got a motion, a second. Any other comments? If not, we better call the roll on this just to be sure. Go ahead and call the roll.
Squire Moody,
Who was that?
Mike Moody,
Okay.
Yes.
Squire Beaverson,
Yes.
Judge Riley,
Yes.
Squire Jerry Moody,
I have a question. Should I vote on this?
Oh, you can. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes.
and Squire Burr.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes. And to your question, Jerry, it wouldn't have made any difference. It was going to pass anyway. So, next up is personnel policy. This is in our handbook. A question came up about voting leave, and the handbook evidently could be in conflict in two areas. The section 9 under holidays says the county observes the same holiday schedule as the state observes. But then when we go back to section 15, voting leave, it says that all county employees shall be allowed reasonable unpaid time off of work to vote. Well, when you look at the state holiday, and that's in your packet, it says that November 11th, November 3rd, pardon me, 2020 presidential election, that the state personnel get a full paid day off to vote. I don't think that was the intention of the committee or the court when we said, look, we're not going to pay for voting leave anymore. And I think that all we need to do to correct this is a simple change, and that's on the next page there. It's got a asterisk, it's updated. The county observes the same holiday schedule which the state observes, with the exception of the voting holidays. See section 15, voting leave. So I'll entertain a motion to adopt that change in our employee handbook.
Motion to approve.
We've got a motion by Mike Moody
I'll second.
and Squire Beaverson reluctantly seconds that. So now we're going to have some discussion on it, no doubt. And I'll open up the floor to Squire Beaverson. I think you're wanting to say something about it.
Okay. Were the employees anticipating working tomorrow, or were the offices going to be open?
Yes, the offices are open tomorrow, and I'll say that
Okay.
I was anticipating as the judge executive that the employees would be working. We've
Okay. Then if we have some employees, if there were some employees that weren't anticipating to be at work tomorrow.
Brett, if I could step in a second, it looks like what we've got, Judge, is a bit of a conflict inside our own code, because we say that we're going to observe state holidays, which election day is. And then we have that voting leave section on page 34 that we're not, that they be allowed reasonable unpaid time off work to vote and that kind of thing. And that seems to conflict with our earlier statement in the handbook that talks about following the state holiday schedule.
I would like to say something that when this was, the way I remember this, when this was instituted, it was looked at pretty thoroughly. And one thing about the state is the state has employees that might say live in 2 or 3 counties away from where they actually work. And the state has given the time off because of that, because of their excessive travel time to get to work, because they live so far from where they work. Where somebody that works for Spencer County, if they have to leave work and go vote, they're just a few minutes from a polling station. And it's a different scenario overall versus for a state worker. So I just want everybody to bear that in mind. Don't want to ever infringe on somebody's right to vote or keep them from voting, but especially this year, there's just all kinds of opportunities to vote. And even if somebody wants to go tomorrow and vote in person, shouldn't take them very long. Not like a possible state worker that has to travel very far to get back to his home to the precinct.
Well, Judge, if somebody wanted to be off tomorrow, they can just take vacation time if we approve this change, correct?
That is correct, yes, and that's what we anticipated. It'd be kind of hard to believe that someone hasn't, well, maybe not so hard to believe that somebody hasn't voted already, but there's so many opportunities with these changes because of the COVID and all that. Too many opportunities for people to vote to say, oh gosh, I need a half a day off or a full day off is what the state says to go vote in Spencer County. I think the intent was covered under section 15 when that was updated. All county employees shall be allowed reasonable unpaid time off work to vote. And they, of course, coordinate with their supervisors. But then when you read section 11, I'm sorry, it refers to the state holiday schedule.
Right.
The easy correction would be just to simply make that small change under section 11, where I've got it indicated as updated. The county observes the same holiday schedule which the state observes, with the exception of voting holidays. See section 15.
Good with the change.
So if everybody's good with that change, I'll entertain a motion to go ahead. Oh, I think
We've already done that.
That's correct. So
I have a question, Judge.
okay, go ahead.
In the beginning of the year, did your office put out a holiday schedule for all the county employees? Do they do that on a normal basis?
No, we follow the state holiday schedule.
Okay, is that made available to all the employees?
Oh yeah, it's
Okay.
readily available. And generally those now. It's just like
And the other question is did the state take election day off last year? Do they normally take election days off?
I couldn't tell you. I just know the intent of when this change was made was to say that's ridiculous to pay an employee to be off all day to go vote in Spencer County.
I think it says for presidential election.
I think that and this refers only to the presidential election, but I think that what was discovered is that we had employees taking off a whole day to go vote, but then they didn't go vote.
I understand that.
All right. I mean, that's a right in itself, the right to not vote, but you've got independent registered people that I think that we were taking most elections off, but so this would correct that conflict, I guess.
Well, the biggest problem I have with this is we're down to the 11th hour and we're just now discussing this. I mean,
right. It just came.
I really wish that we would put out a holiday schedule so that the employees know what their holiday schedule is going to be for that year.
We can do that. And this just came up, I guess, as a result of the election.
I understand.
But it needs to be clarified. So I think most employees understand it, but there may be some that don't. But this is a clarification.
Judge, could you read me that language again?
Yes. Under section A, under
11.
Under 11 holidays, Says the county observes the same holiday schedule which the state observes, with the exception of voting holidays. See section 15, voting leave.
Got it.
Yeah. And that's in your packet, I think on page 73. Okay, so we've got a motion and a second to adopt that change in our handbook. Any other discussion? If not, call the roll, please.
Squire Beaverson,
Yes.
Judge Riley,
Yes.
Squire Jerry Moody,
Yes.
Squire Brewer,
No.
Squire Mike Moody.
Yes.
Okay, the motion passes and we will make that change and make sure the employees understand and know what the state holidays are, and that voting leave in a presidential election does not qualify. So with that, we're going to move on to review and approval of expenditures, purchases, invoices, and transfers. And I'm looking at Doug to see if you have anything else on that. I'll just entertain a motion.
Motion to pay the bills and make the transfers.
We've got a motion.
This Jerry, I'll second it.
And we've got Squire Jerry Moody second. Any questions? If not, call the roll, please.
Judge Riley,
Yes.
Squire Jerry Moody,
Yes.
Squire Brewer,
Yes.
Squire Mike Moody,
Yes.
Beaverson.
Yes.
Motion passes. And before we adjourn, is there anything else that the court would like to take up this morning? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Squire Mike Moody.
Hang on, I'm just going to
Motion
say it
adjourn.
one more
Oh,
time
just-
is that, hang on, the length of the minutes, that has just got to get down. We don't need all of that.
I beg of you, if there's something you can do to change that, I beg of you. It needs to change, and I think you'll see a difference in the minutes to this meeting, but I'm not sure about future meetings, so, but I beg of you, please appeal to someone. It's just too long. It's a transcript of what is it referred to. It's not a transcript. It's
I almost voted no on approving it. I don't want to sit down and read a book, and seriously, that was like reading a few chapters of a book. And the more you put in, the more there is case for error. Really, only thing that needs to be in it is the motions and the approval or disapproval. And as you say, you want to have financial information in it as well. That's it.
Yeah,
Even
I agree. I agree.
Even if somebody who gets up and speaks, if they want to have everything verbatim, no. The only thing that needs to be in there is that who spoke.
That's correct. So I've struggled with that for going on 6 years, Squire Beaverson. At one point, it went to the Attorney General's office, believe it or not. I'll be happy to show you what we struck from the meeting minutes that resulted in it going to the Attorney General's office, but it was 12 pages.
No, I know.
So I agree. But okay, so we've got a motion to, I believe, adjourn from Squire Moody. Mike Moody.
Brewer, second it.
Squire Brewer is seconding that, and all those in favor say aye.
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 We are now adjourned. Thank you all very much.